Good morning, everyone. Just wondering how you are. This is a bright, sunny morning. It is here, anyway, at least in Geneva. I wonder what it's like in the UK or wherever you are, be it New Zealand or Germany or maybe France or wherever you are. Anyway, so this morning I thought I would concentrate on self-esteem and confidence because many of us do struggle with that for sure. So here's a quote from the cards that I used the other day. Our conditioned low self-esteem convinces us that we're not worthy enough to receive things. Too often we summarise our sense of worthlessness with the all too common phrase, life is not fair. This is true, life is not fair. Life is simply abundant. With so much abundance in the world, there's no reason to be poor or lonely unless you choose to. So choose abundance. So I want to just discuss with you abundance. We talk about abundance, we talk about success, we talk about many, many, many things. So what does abundance mean to you? At the moment, doesn't matter whether you're rich or poor because we're all quarantined or self-isolating. But what does abundance mean for you? Does it mean that you can have a good day? Does it mean that you can laugh? Does it mean that you can play? Does it mean happiness? Does it mean wealth and prosperity? Does it mean health? All of us value our health at the moment. Hopefully, many of us are trying to keep our immune system healthy. So what does abundance mean to you? Does it mean abundance of friendships? Does it mean abundance of being able to give love and receive love as well? Does it mean something else? And I think probably for all of us, abundance means many, many, many things. So good morning, everybody. We've got Deborah and Joyce, Tony, Jackie, Monica, and Nikki. And I know my friend Nick's watching. We met in Kathmandu on the bus to Pokhara. So many of you know me personally, which is always lovely when you do a FaceTime live. And I really appreciate your support as well. It's not that I'm just talking to myself, but I do realise that often people can't watch them at the time I do them. On that note, I do apologise for last night. I very, very rarely have a headache, and last night I had a bit of a stinger. So I did put a note on to say that I wouldn't be doing the meditation last night because I went to a disco. So obviously I didn't go to a disco. Good morning, Dee, as well. So for those of you that just joined us, once again I apologise for not doing the meditation last night. I will aim to do a meditation most nights. It may not be possible some nights because I'm back to work now. So after having just over a year off, back to work. So anyway, less of that. So back to abundance. What does abundance mean to you? What does success mean to you? We talked yesterday about the masks that everybody wears in society. You know, how are you? And everybody says, oh, I'm fine. And sometimes you just want to say, you know what, I'm having a really crap day. And we all have crap days. Everybody has crap days, whether you're aware, whether you're unaware, whether you're spiritual, whatever floats your boat. So I want you to think about, what does abundance really mean to you? We talk about people being abundant. Does it mean that they're always happy? Because nobody's always happy. Top studies have done different, tests with the most positive people in the world, and at least one, male or female, they have a wobble. We all have wobbles. Sometimes it's because you've eaten too many jelly babies. Sometimes it's just because, I don't know. Sometimes there doesn't seem to be a reason for it. So when we have a wobble, one of the best things to do is shake it out. So obviously I'm sat down. It's not going to be good if I start shaking my legs as well, because I'm going to be all over the place. But generally, what happens is when we get stressed, we always have a choice. We can either anchor that in the body, and that's what will happen. We talked about cellular memory yesterday. So these are things you can go away and research. But if you stay in that stressful place, your shoulders get tense, your arms get tense. Tension can build up in many, many, many parts of the body. And then depending what your diet is, You may have a lot of toxins in there if you're not drinking fresh water. And depending whereabouts you are with the tap water situation in the world, some tap water is quite toxic really. There's quite a lot of chlorine in there and different chemicals. So it's always good to research where your water comes from, where the source of your water is, and just what chemicals are in there. I'm not going to get into a debate about water, not at this point. But do have an awareness of the water quality that you're drinking. If you feel you want to get a water filter, do get one. But the average is really, we do need about 2 litres a day at least. Good morning, Margaret. I realise Margaret's watching from Australia, hopefully with your beautiful husband. So, and good morning, Darren and Barbara and Chloe. So, let's just talk about success and abundance again. Think about friendships. When I met Margaret and her lovely husband in Bali with my friend Wayan, it was a really, really special time. And I met them through a dear friend, Daphne. And to me, that was appreciation. Maybe abundance is something that makes you appreciate what you have. I don't know, because it's different for all of us. But I think at this time when we're all kind of, having to face ourselves, having a lot more time on our hands, then it's how we choose to use that time. Do we use it wisely, or do we just, what are people going to do? You have a choice now to share your abundance. I don't mean in the physical sense with money. What I mean is, like I said yesterday, good morning Sally Ann as well, it's about being present, being aware of what you're doing all day. Are you messaging friends? Are you having a constructive conversation? Or are you just talking about the news and whinging and moaning? Or are you going to make the most of this situation that we've been given? I wonder how many of you have turned to, good morning Abby, I wonder how many of you have turned to maybe artwork or music or some kind of creativeness. So maybe think about someone who you feel is abundance. Good morning, Mark, as well. And Shanti from Bali, good morning. So think about what abundance means to you. Does it mean how much love you have in your life? How much joy you have in your life? Good morning, Danielle. Think about what success means to you. Many people want to climb up the career ladder. At the moment, some people might not know even if they've got a career after all this. But what does success mean? Does it mean that you're happy doing what you're doing? Does it mean you have fulfillment in your life? Does it mean that you have peace in your life? Does it mean that you trust that, this will finish? Of course it will. Does it mean that when this finishes, you're going to come out a better person with maybe more acts of random kindness? Maybe, many of you are judging yourself at the moment or reflecting on life, and maybe you're not doing it with kindness. We tend to focus on our faults. I think it's probably a British thing, but instead of focusing on our faults, why don't we focus on the success that we have, the friends that we have? And these are true friends, not just, somebody who likes you because of, something maybe inappropriate or whatever else. But these are friends that are there with a listening ear. Good morning, Michelle, as well. So just think for a moment about success, whatever it means to you, and it'll mean something different to all of us, I'm sure. Maybe, to a child who's learning to fasten some shoelaces, success to them is momentary. They want to learn to fasten the shoelaces. To a child who is learning to ride a bike, they want to learn to ride the bike. Some of us, I do miss my beautiful garden in England. Good morning, Jan. And, the success sometimes was just being able to clean the fish pond, get the flowers in, and, maybe clip the trees properly or repair the fence panels or whatever that day brought. So some of you are very gifted, I'm sure, and some of us never find our gifts because of fear. And I know before I started doing the FaceTimers live, many of you had messaged me and said, look, we're really, really, really struggling with what's going on at the moment and fear. And these were really positive people who were really struggling with it. And for me, some of you may or may not know, IT has always been a bit of a fear with me. I don't know if my friend Claire's watching, but a few of you do know that IT just, it drives me insane. I can do many things, but IT is not one of them. Morning, Daphne. Morning, Nikki. So, good morning to all of you. Let's just think for a moment about the things that we have done, the things that we have achieved. As I said yesterday, we can all get in the blame game. She did this, he did that, blah, blah, blah. My job's not working for me. Good morning, Ruth. We have a choice. Every single day we have a choice. Good morning, Denise, too. What do we choose to focus on? Do we choose to focus on the positive? Do we choose to focus on the negative? Now, as I said, let's get real. There's no way that we can be positive all the time. It's not real. But we can choose just how long we want to stay in the negative. But I did some work with you yesterday with thinking about a pie chart. So obviously, if you want to follow the exercises, it's up to you. If you just want to listen, then that's up to you too. If any of you have a journal or you want to start a journal, that would be amazing, because you'll get so much back when you self-reflect. And now we've got the perfect time to do it. Good morning, Peter, as well, and good morning, Eileen. So maybe, good morning, Michael. So maybe get a journal and just draw a circle. And you can cut the circle into half, which is 50%, or quarters, which is 25%. Good morning, Janet. You can cut it into eighths, which will be 12.5%. And just for a moment, whether you want to do it in a meditative state or just close your eyes and just put your hands on your heart center. And just for a moment, just think, where do you give your power away? Where is it that you lose your abundance, that you use your sense of self-esteem, self-love, self-regard? Everybody's different. We're not talking about the egocentric arrogance of self-esteem. I always remember when I was running the meditation group a few years ago, a very dear friend of mine, Alison, she said to me, but you know what to say in every kind of given situation. Good morning, Nat. And I just looked at her and I went, no, I don't. I really, really don't. I get caught off guard. I have no idea what to say in certain given situations. Good morning, Stella. None of us do, or at least I like to think that none of us do. Good morning, Nina, as well. So, how do we respond in difficult situations? Where do we give our power away? Is it a certain person that makes us feel uncomfortable, or is it just us? We're not into the blame game. This is not about the blame game. None of us know how long we're going to be in isolation for. I know Tony said last night, in England, potentially, they've said it will be a maximum of 6 months under review every 3 weeks. Wow, that's a scary thing. Goodness me, 6 months in isolation. So let's pray that it's not. But you know what? There's a quantum physics here that if we all become more positive, if we all look after ourselves, then our vibrations are going to increase. If our vibrations increase, which means we hold more light in the auric field, in the chakras, then if we hold more light, and if we learn to respect and appreciate and have more gratitude, then the whole of the world is going to improve. And at the end of the day, what does it matter? The more you concentrate on yourself, the more that energy is going to spread to your household. If you focus on whinging, you are going to create more things to whinge about. If you focus on positivity, you're going to create more things to be positive about. And we all know what it's like. We all have that friend who's always a breath of fresh air. They always have a smile on their face. They always make us feel positive. But imagine that you could be more positive. I'm not talking about, being like one of the two Ronnies or Benny Hill or laughing and joking all the time, because we can't do that. And in fact, many of you probably know that many of the comedians are manic depressionists anyway. They can flip the other side. So how can you be more happy? And let's just look at it in a sensible way. How can you be more happy today? So good morning, Kailan and Safian, I hope I've pronounced those names right, and Isaac too. So welcome aboard. So we're talking about success and abundance and how we can make one act of random kindness to ourselves for today. How can we smile at somebody else? How can we smile at somebody else? Good morning, Joe, as well. So think about ways you can do that. Many of us, like I say, we're self-isolated or quarantined. Maybe offer your partner or your family, or if you're with your parents, your mum or your dad, maybe offer them a cup of tea, or maybe offer to make a meal, maybe offer to help. Maybe get the jobs done that someone's been nagging you to do. I'm sure many of you who are married or in long-term partnerships can relate to this. Maybe there's children out there who perhaps need to go and tidy the bedrooms. Maybe we need to get the garden done. But think about something, and the thing is, we all procrastinate. I procrastinated long enough about doing IT. I've been asked to do FaceTime Live for many, many years, and I haven't done it. So, we're all guilty of procrastination, but it's where we put the energy. Do we actually choose to be more positive with the procrastination? Do we just choose to acknowledge it and move on, or do we sit in it? Everything is a choice. So life really, in the greater scheme of things, it's great if we're what we call in the flow, where we do feel that we're in the flow. Good morning, Bernadette. Good morning, Lisa. So think about where you're in the flow. Think about those days when you feel you're most in the flow. Maybe it's when you listen to your intuition, when you look for the synchronicities, synchrodestinies, coincidences, because obviously there are no coincidences anyway. Even a top detective will tell you that. So you can look at law of attraction, you can go into quantum physics, or you can just have some common sense. But where can you get the most out of life? Where can you maybe send that friend a hug? Maybe give yourself a hug. We talked yesterday about giving ourselves a huggle, because we all feel that sometimes, we need to give ourselves a huggle. Every one of us has bad days sometimes. So think about how you can make this day special for you. Be it colouring pencils, be it watching the film you've wanted to watch, be it starting to read the book you've wanted to watch, be it starting to write the book you've always wanted to write. There's lots of keep fit videos out there, and I'm very aware I lost lots of weight while I've been away, and I have no intention of putting it back on. So keeping fit, Tai Chi, yoga, Pilates, all of these things will help you. There's lots of keep fit videos out there. Perhaps Ted could share some later. Or any of you feel welcome to put whatever you want on my Facebook wall, because we're all in it together. Some of you will know that I set up the page last week, Together We Can. That's there for positive things. Put whatever you like on there, as long as it's positive. We all need to keep each other afloat at the moment. So think about something that you want to do. Think about something you've wanted to do for a while. Some of you might want to do an open university course. There's so many courses now online. And just make a commitment to stay with that. Like I said yesterday, when we're learning to ride a bike, we get on the bike, we fall off. We get on the bike, we fall off until we learn to master that. We talk about mastering life. Good morning, Harry. Good morning, Jackie. So what is it that you want to do? What is it that your self-esteem, self-confidence, self-love is holding you back from? And sometimes, when we just do it, we feel so much better anyway. So sometimes you just got to get hold of the bull by the horns and just do it. But think today about how you can make a difference to yourself and how you can make a difference to others. And remember, everything's about balance. It's not about giving our power away all the time. It's about finding a balance with ourselves and finding a balance with other people. So how is it that you can make a difference to yourself today? Maybe you need to make your favourite meal. Maybe you need to eat more healthy or drink more healthy, rather than, we all berate ourselves when we eat too much starch, and then we feel rubbish anyway. We know if we eat rubbish, we feel rubbish. But there is a time and a place for cake. There is a time and a place for chocolate. At the moment, keeping our immune systems healthy is very, very important. So how can you make a difference today? Is it through a phone call? Even if, you have to listen to somebody whinging, try and change the subject. Think of ways that you can keep them positive. Think about your conversations. Think about how positive your conversations are. Think about what you say in conversations. Are you focusing on the positive? Or are you focusing on the negative? Are you expecting too much of someone else in a conversation? Maybe they're expecting too much of you, or maybe you feel that they're expecting too much of you. Think about, we talked about unconditional love yesterday. Think about where you give unconditional love. You know, it's usually very easy to give it to a child, or certainly a younger child. Some parents only love their children, or at least the children only feel loved when they achieve academia, which is incredibly sad. I have a friend who's a very, very dear and very capable tennis coach. And he was saying the amount of parents that only give appreciation and acknowledgement to their children when they achieve at tennis. We can't always be number one. We can't always be number two. But you know what? Numbers 5 and 6 and 7 still have a place, because all of you can do things that I can't do. Some of you might be geniuses at IT and I'm not, you know. There are different things that you can do, and it might be worth today just looking at your gifts, looking at your successes in life. And sometimes the success is, you know, coming through a divorce, coming through a bereavement, recovering after a car accident. A very dear friend of mine, her son was crushed by a log. The tree just fell on him, you know, and he fractured his spine, but he's walking again now. That's success. That's success. Holding your head up high and saying, you know what, I did it. So, as I said, this is confidence in the most balanced way. So, good morning, Pam, Helen, Shirley, and Bev. Lovely to see you. So let's think about how we can change things. Let's think about how we can bring more positivity in. Morning, Hazel. Think about what we can do to cheer ourselves up. A very close friend of mine recently lost somebody and planted a rose bush for that person. When I lost somebody, I planted a magnolia tree. Now, fair enough, the garden centres might be shut now. I don't know what's available at many of the other shops. But just think about how you can make your day different. Think about where you are appreciated. When have you been most appreciated? Who appreciates you the most? When do you appreciate yourself the most? When do you feel at your most confident? Maybe when do you feel at your least confident? But again, just be aware of where you put that focus, you know? Just be aware of what it is that you're trying to prove. Is there anything you're trying to prove? All of us look for kind of acknowledgement, you know? Sometimes, even as adults, the inner child is looking for acknowledgement, maybe from our parents, maybe from a teacher. So think about those things that float your boat, that make you feel better, that make you feel happy. Think about all those things that you've been procrastinating about. Think about how you'll feel. We tend to get stuck in the procrastination. And actually on a physical level, you know, that's just stagnant energy, just like stagnant water. You wouldn't want to drink it. You wouldn't want to paddle in it barefoot. You wouldn't want your dog in it, preferably. And certainly in Bali, it was full of mosquitoes. So, you know, where is your life stagnant? Where can you make these changes? And this is about making a positive promise to you. A friend of mine sent me a picture the other day. It was hilarious. She's got a huge kitchen and a huge house, and inevitably the bigger our houses are, the more stuff we have. And she opened one of the kitchen drawers and she said, Mary, I'm cleaning out the war in the drawer. I just thought it was hilarious, the war in the drawer. So where's your war in your drawer? You know, where could you declutter in your life? Is there someone you need to apologise to? Is there someone that you've expected to apologise to you for far too long? Maybe, why don't you just apologise to them? Just be the bigger person, you know? So, what is success? Is it just finding inner peace? You don't have to be an enlightened master or a guru, you know? It can be somebody who simply lives up in the mountains in a log cabin. This is just about how to make your life better, just for today, because today is all we have. We don't know about the future. You know, all of us are grateful for our health at the moment. We don't know just how true this coronavirus and the statistics are, but regardless of that, you know, let's be grateful for our health, number one. Let's be grateful for our home. Let's be grateful that we've got maybe birds singing in the trees or a beautiful garden to go in. We have a park a few minutes away from here. I'm in an apartment in Geneva, so I don't have a garden. Many of my friends have said, you know, I'm so grateful that I have a garden. So think about the things that you appreciate. It might be worth writing down 10 things that you appreciate. And 10 things where maybe as you're a work in progress, because we're all a work in progress, me included, you know. Think about what you want. Think about, you know, many of us are facing the unknown. Some of us, you know, have been really gripped by the fear in the news and different things. But it's time to embrace everything now. My sister-in-law put a post on Facebook the other day saying that, you know, schooling the kids was really hard. They were driving her crazy. And now she's embracing it. Sometimes call it facing the fear if you want. Call it whatever you want, you know. It's entirely up to you. But where can you make your life better? What is taking your energy? Go back to that pie chart. How much of your energy are you giving away? We give a lot of energy away when we procrastinate. Sometimes we just need to do it. What are the things that you can just do? You know, we talked about learning music yesterday, learning the guitar, learning to play the piano. Read the book you've always wanted to read. You know, start redecorating the room that you may want to redecorate, or painting the walls, or cleaning the windows. I don't know. Because it's all about you. But certainly when we meditate, when we sit quietly, if we put our hands on our heart center and close our eyes, we just go into that quiet space. So for now, if you I'm just going to do a meditation. This is how easy meditations can be. Don't think you have to sit there like a guru with your legs crossed in the lotus position for kind of, 2 hours, 3 hours all day. You can do a meditation simply by closing your eyes for 2 or 3 minutes. So if you want to close your eyes for 2 or 3 minutes, just tune into your heart. And it does help if you put your hands on your heart. You don't have to. You don't even have to do this. But just put your hands on your heart and just ask, what is it that your heart wants you to do today? Just go inside the heart, rather like a mini-me or Alice in Wonderland. Just imagine your heart could talk to you. Maybe some of you are very experienced meditators. What is it when you go into the heart that your heart is showing you? Maybe there's a face, maybe an animal, a picture, a tree, maybe something else. Just think for a moment about what's right for you. And if you're doing this, if you've closed your eyes, that's fine. If you don't close your eyes, that's also fine. You probably get more out of it by closing your eyes. As soon as we open the eyes, we take on board about 50,000 or 70,000 pieces of information at any one given moment in time. What is it that your heart wants you to do just for today? How can you be a better person for yourself just for today? Maybe you've always made a promise to yourself to lose weight, to dance more. Think about the things you did when you were a child. Maybe you loved to paint or chalk or dance. Maybe you loved to sing. Maybe you loved some form of music. When did you last watch your favourite film or listen to your favourite piece of music? When did you last dance and sing in the kitchen? I put a post on earlier this morning that my son and his partner had put on Facebook, which had me in stitches. Quarantine cuisine. So they videoed making a meal, and obviously they did it in a funny way, just being silly. When did you allow yourself to put the masks down so that you could be silly, so that you could connect maybe with the inner child? On a scale of 1 to 10, if 0 is nothing and 10 is a wonderful sense of humour, where's your sense of humour? Maybe you need to watch Dave Allen more, or John Bishop, Peter Kay, I don't know. We all have different comedians. There was a beautiful clip someone sent me on Facebook the other day of Sarah Millican. That woman is hysterical. I've seen her live. She's amazing. So what is your heart telling you today? And just look at your heart. Is it battered, bruised, broken? Is it whole? Is it only half alive? Where are you only half alive in your life? Many of the people, many of the people who've had a heart attack, and we're talking over 50% here, have no physiological or physical reason for having a heart attack. It's simply because the heart closes down. Maybe because they're not happy. But where are you happy in your life? Surely success, abundance and confidence is really about where you're happy in your life. Where you are happy being the real you. We all have a chance in this respite period to look at this time as respite, as time out, like a long holiday. We can choose to embrace it, or we can choose to resist it. But what is your heart telling you right now? Is there a project you want to start? Is there a project you want to finish? And just take a moment while your hands are on your heart to visualize that project finished or started, or partway through. You go with what's right for you. And just feel that. Be aware of where you feel it in your body. Maybe you already feel lighter in the shoulders, maybe the neck. Maybe you feel lighter all over your body. And the more we get into the body, the more we come out of the head. Far too many people are in the head. I spent far too many years wasting life being in the head. Allowing the ego mind, the monkey mind, to drive myself completely insane. Almost like a woodpecker pecking at me all the time, but just slow that right down. Get into the heart. Allow yourself to listen to the heart. What is it that you want to do right now for you? What is it that you can complete for yourself, maybe for your loved ones? How would it feel to get in touch with a long-lost friend, to write that letter? With a long-lost relative? And I do appreciate that we can't get on with everybody, because that's the reality of life. And sometimes, as many of you know, I've done workshops where we write that letter, or we meditate and we visualize we've made that phone call and we've made the connection. But not in the physical world, because everything's energy, we can visualize it. So we've made that phone call, we've made that connection. And be aware of how that would make you feel. Be aware of where you feel it in the body. Maybe you get an energy going all the way up the front of the body or all the way up the spine. Maybe you feel it somewhere else. And if that's a good feeling, what I'd like you to do is make it bigger. Maybe double it or make it 10 times bigger. Maybe 20 times bigger. Maybe 30 times bigger. And just make it bigger. Wherever it starts from, allow it to go up the body, down the body, to the left, to the right. But make that bigger. Allow yourself, give yourself permission to feel the emotion. In England, especially, we are so cultured not to feel the emotions. To always say, I'm fine, to put that mask back on with a smiley face, when really, we might be fine, that's wonderful if we are, but equally, we actually might not be. And when we can face our most powerful vulnerabilities, and I'm not going to lie to you, it's not easy, then we can honour who we truly, truly are. And we all have a right to be vulnerable. I'm not talking about playing the victim. I'm talking about the reality of our vulnerabilities. Because the chances are at this time, this completely weird, unexpected time, it's probable that all of us feel vulnerable to one degree or another, and we are allowed to feel vulnerable. So if we stay in the positive and we make that energy bigger, we can allow ourselves to at least start loosening the masks, reducing the masks, and at least we become aware not to put any more masks on, because I know for me I was probably wearing about 10 or 20 or even more. So it might be an idea through the day to write down your strengths, and when you acknowledge your vulnerabilities, that within itself can be a great way to move forward. So I'm going to break the meditation in a moment. If you want to stay in meditation, that's perfectly up to you. And don't worry, because even when I finish FaceTime Live, if you're still in meditation, it's fine. Nobody died through meditation. You may well go to sleep after, but I assure you, you'll come out of it. Even in deep hypnotherapy, nobody died in a deep hypnotherapy session either, so don't worry about that. But these sessions are just about you finding a self-level of realization, a self-awareness, a personal responsibility. And if you've got children, you're responsible for them, but certainly you are responsible for yourself, for your actions, for your words, for your deeds. But if we can all learn to be our own best friend, it's taken me years, decades, and I'm still learning. But if we can learn to be our own best friend, to eat healthy, to drink healthy, to spread loving kindness, not just to ourselves, but to other people, to spread respect, self-respect. If we'd have had respect for the planet, the world would be in a better place. Maybe we wouldn't be facing this virus. But think for a moment about that word respect. How much respect do you have for your physical body? How much respect do you have for other people? How much respect do you have for your home? Whether you own it or whether you rent it is completely irrelevant. How much respect do you have for your garden? For the trees, for the oceans? How much respect do you have for the planet? Where in your life can you have more respect? So just sit with that word respect. Just let it float around in the old think tank, in the old brain, in the heart. Let it float around the body. Does your body feel that you respect it? Does your soul feel that you respect it? Does your mind feel that you respect it? How can we show more respect to ourselves and to others? So, just take 3 deep breaths in. You can go back into this meditation at any given moment in time. You can always watch this video again anyway. But just take 3 deep breaths in. If you want to, you can shake your hands out, roll your shoulders. If any of you got a stiff neck, one of the best exercises is to press your hand against the front of your head and your head against your hand. Press with your hand against the side of your head, and again on the other side, and again on the other side. A very dear friend of mine is a chiropractor, and this is one of the best things to do when you have a problem with your neck or you start to feel stiff. And when you're ready in your own time, just open your eyes very gently. Wriggle your toes. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your bum on the chair, roll your shoulders. And when you're ready, open your eyes if you've not already done so, so that you're grounded, focused, present, and back in the room. So, there endeth today's FaceTime Live. Thank you all for joining me. I can see that many more of you have come back or come on while I've been meditating with the rest of the group. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you continue to have a wonderful, wonderful day, whatever today brings for any one of you. I hope that you can be kind to yourself more. I hope you can be kind to other people more. And if we all thought about spreading kindness, the planet wouldn't be in the mess that it's in, because we'd have had respect. So maybe that's what success really is, respect. So, love and respect to all of you. A big kiss, a big huddle from Geneva in Switzerland. And please do let me know if there's anything you want me to cover tomorrow. I intend to make this self-awareness, self-realization, self-actualization, kind of like a life coaching session, really. I mean, I've done it long enough. So for those of you that don't know, you know, I've been a therapist for about 17 years. I don't know everything. I don't want to know everything. I love the learning curve that I go on. But thank you all. It's really appreciated to have your support. But any ideas, I do hope that I will have the time to do the meditation later. All things being equal, I should have. Find joy in the little things today. I'm grateful for a Lady Grey tea bag at the moment, and just a beautiful meal. I'm grateful for the phone calls, for the funny videos you keep sending, and the smiles and the support from beloved friends. So let's support one another, because this time will surely finish. It will, definitely. I've no idea when. Just the sooner the better, I think, for all of us. But by all means, let's appreciate every day. Let's make a positive affirmation to start the day with positivity. And if you do find you sink into negativity, go and have a shakeout. Get your hands on your heart. Go and have a salt bath. There's many different ways. I can go into different ways of, moving that energy on for you. Just ask whatever you need to ask. Don't worry if it's weird or random or anything else. Just ask. If you don't ask, you're never going to know. I won't be offended. It's good for me, because if I can't answer you, I've got to go out and do some research. I've got to learn too. So I wish you all the best, and have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Take care of your loved ones. And maybe take the first step forward today to being your own best friend. Okay? Bye. Bye. God bless you all. Bye.